All right, picture this. You're out in public, minding your own business, feeling like Beyoncé on a good hair day. Then, bam, someone disrespects you. A rude comment, a snarky tone, or maybe they just straight up cut in line. What do? Freeze? Fight back? Plot their downfall? Well, today we're diving headfirst into ways to handle public disrespect like an absolute boss. And trust me, some of these will make you laugh, some might make you gasp, but all of them will leave you feeling empowered. So buckle up, because we're not just handling disrespect today, we're mastering it. Let's go. 1. Call them out, publicly. Let's talk about calling people out. This one's a bit spicy, so buckle up. Imagine this. Someone disrespects you in public. Maybe they cut you off in line, say something nasty under their breath, or even go full Karen on you. Now, the natural instinct might be to shrink back or brush it off. But sometimes, the best move is to clap back loud enough for the audience to hear. Why? Because some people only learn when they're put on the spot. Okay, story time. One time, I was in a cafe waiting in line for my latte when this guy just barges in front of me and says, "I'm in a rush." No, excuse me, no manners, just entitlement oozing out of his pores. So I said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Oh, no problem. The rest of us just love waiting for rude people. Please, take your time." The barista even clapped. The guy, he turned beet red, mumbled something, and shuffled to the back of the line. Justice was served with a side of espresso. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Some people think calling someone out is too confrontational, that it's better to keep the peace. And hey, if that's your style, cool. But let's be honest, there are moments where silence feels like letting them win, right? You can't just let people think it's okay to treat others like trash. If we keep letting it slide, the world just becomes a giant playground for bullies. But calling someone out isn't just about embarrassing them. It's about setting boundaries for yourself and for the world around you. Think about it. When you publicly challenge disrespect, you're not just standing up for yourself. You're sending a message to everyone watching like, "Hey, this isn't okay. We can do better." I'll admit, the first few times I tried this, I was shaking like a leaf. But over time, I realized it's not about winning. It's about reclaiming your power. And let's not forget the fun part. Calling someone out doesn't have to be mean. It can be downright hilarious. Like, if someone's loudly disrespecting a server at a restaurant, you could go, "Hey, do you need a Snickers or something? You're not yourself when you're hangry." Boom, instant comedy, and you just made the server's day. Calling someone out publicly is like walking a tightrope. It takes balance, timing, and a little bit of guts. But when done right, it's not about starting drama. It's about showing people that respect isn't optional. And sometimes you've got to be the one to remind them. Because at the end of the day, standing up for yourself doesn't just change how others see you. It changes how you see yourself. And trust me, that's a glow-up no one can take away. So the next time someone disrespects you in public, don't shrink back, step up. And remember, a little wit and a loud voice can go a long way. Try it. You might just surprise yourself. 2. Ignore, but make it obvious. The art of ignoring someone, but doing it so loudly that it feels like an Olympic-level performance. Now, some people think ignoring disrespect is a sign of weakness. But let me tell you something. Ignoring someone can be the most savage move you can make, especially if you do it right. Why? Because nothing frustrates a disrespectful person more than realizing their antics aren't worth your time. Let me paint a picture for you. A couple of months ago, I was at this networking event, and a guy literally interrupted me mid-sentence to talk over me. I'm talking, well, actually, vibes. Now, younger me would have tried to jump back in or explain myself, but nope, not this time. I smiled, picked up my drink, and turned to the person next to me. I started a new conversation as if the guy had evaporated into thin air. The look on his face, pure confusion. It was chef's kiss perfection. Later, he actually came up to me and apologized. Ignoring him spoke louder than any words ever could. Here's where it gets juicy, though. A lot of people will tell you, but ignoring them doesn't solve the problem. And sure, if someone's crossing serious boundaries, you should speak up. But not all battles are worth fighting. Why waste your energy arguing with someone who's clearly just fishing for attention? Ignoring them can actually be a power move, especially when you make it obvious that you're ignoring them. It says, you're not even worth the effort it takes to respond, and that is the ultimate mic drop. Here's the science behind it. Disrespectful people often thrive on reaction. It's like they're tossing bait into the water, hoping you'll bite. But when you ignore them, especially in a way that makes it clear you're choosing to ignore them, it flips the script. Suddenly, they're the ones left feeling awkward, invisible, or powerless. And the best part, you're protecting your peace the whole time. Now, if you want to sprinkle some fun into your obvious ignoring, here's how to take it to the next level. Start scrolling on your phone. Bonus points if you laugh at a meme mid-insult. It's like saying, your drama isn't even as interesting as this cat video. Look them up and down, then look away. Classic move, always gets under their skin. Casually hum a tune. Nothing says, I don't care, like ignoring someone musically. I once started humming the Jeopardy theme song while someone was lecturing me about my bad attitude. Talk about legendary. But let's get real for a second. Ignoring disrespect isn't just about being petty or witty. It's about reclaiming control over your energy. Sometimes people are rude because they want to bring you down to their level. When you choose to ignore them, you're saying, I value myself too much to engage with your nonsense. Here's what I've learned. You can't control how other people act, but you can always control your response. And sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's choosing peace over chaos. I'll be honest, there were times in my life when I felt like I had to respond to everything. Like, if I didn't clap back, I was letting people walk all over me. But over time, I realized that not every insult deserves airtime. Sometimes, ignoring someone is the classiest, most confident thing you can do. It says, I don't need to prove anything to you because I already know my worth. So the next time someone tries to ruffle your feathers in public, ignore them, but do it with flair. Make it so obvious that the entire room knows exactly what's happening. It's not just about avoiding drama, it's about protecting your vibe. And trust me, your vibe is way too valuable for random negativity. 3. Walk away like a boss. All right, let's dive deeper into one of the most underrated power moves in the history of public disrespect. Walking away like a boss. This isn't just about avoiding drama, it's about taking complete control of a situation and leaving someone stunned in your wake. Trust me, it's not for the faint-hearted, but when you master it, it's an absolute game changer. Walking away isn't about being weak. It's about knowing when a situation isn't worth your energy. Think of it like this. Imagine someone throws you a ball of negativity. If you stand there, argue, and catch it, you're now holding their mess. But if you walk away, that ball just hits the ground and stays there. You don't pick up their bad vibes, and you don't give them the satisfaction of dragging you down. Now let's make this clear. Walking away doesn't have to be boring. In fact, the more dramatic it is, the better. This is your moment. You're basically the lead character in a movie, and this is the scene where you silently tell the world, I'm too good for this nonsense. Here's a pro tip. If you want to make it unforgettable, add a little flair. The silent exit. No words, no gestures, just turn around and walk. The less you say, the more powerful it feels. The statement exit. Drop one last line like, "This conversation is over," or "I have better things to do." Then leave. It's the verbal equivalent of a mic drop, the flare walk. Add some swagger to your step. Let your body language scream confidence. If you're wearing sunglasses, now's the time to put them on. All right, here's one of my favorite walkaway stories. I was at a work event, and this guy who thought he was the expert on everything started talking down to me. He was loud, rude, and completely dismissive. At first, I tried reasoning with him, but he wasn't listening. So I smiled, stood up, and said, "Well, I think this conversation has run its course. Enjoy your evening." Then I turned and walked away. The look on his face was priceless. He was left speechless, and everyone around us saw it. Later, one of my co-workers came up to me and said, "That was legendary." And you know what? It felt legendary. Here's where things get spicy. Some people might tell you, walking away means you lost. Let me hit you with some truth. Walking away doesn't mean you lost. It means you chose not to waste your time fighting a battle that didn't deserve your attention. You see, disrespectful people want a reaction. They thrive on drama. If you engage, you're playing their game. But when you walk away, you flip the script. Now they're left holding their own bad energy while you've moved on to something better. It's not giving up, it's leveling up. Walking away doesn't have to be all serious. It can actually be hilarious if you do it right. Here are a few playful ways to make your exit unforgettable. The phantom goodbye. Pretend to answer your phone mid-argument and walk off, saying, "Oh, sorry, I've got a real emergency to handle." The fake agreement. Say something like, "You're absolutely right," with a big smile, then turn and leave. The sarcasm will hit them later. The encore exit. Walk away, then come back, grab your coffee, or whatever you forgot, and then walk away again. Maximum confusion, zero stress. Let's get real for a second. Walking away isn't just about shutting someone down, it's about protecting your mental health. Life is too short to stay in situations that drain your energy or make you feel small. Walking away is like drawing a line in the sand and saying, "I value myself too much to stay in this negativity." I've been in moments where I stayed too long in arguments thinking I needed to prove myself, but all I ended up proving was that I was willing to put up with unnecessary stress. Now, I walk away with my head high and my peace intact. And let me tell you, it feels amazing. Walking away gets criticism because some people see it as avoiding the problem. But here's the truth. Not all problems are yours to fix. Some people are just looking to project their frustrations onto you, and by walking away, you're saying, "Not today, Satan." You're also teaching them a lesson. If they want to keep others around, they'll need to bring respect to the table. If not, well, they can sit there alone with their bad vibes while you thrive elsewhere. Walking away has taught me that you don't have to stay in a situation just to prove a point. You don't owe anyone your energy or your attention. Your time and peace are precious, and the moment you start valuing them, you'll find that walking away doesn't feel like running. It feels like winning. So the next time someone disrespects you in public, remember this. You have every right to walk away, not as a victim, but as the person in control. Let them stew in their negativity while you move on to better things. And trust me, nothing looks cooler than leaving with your dignity intact and your head held high. So whether you exit with flair, with sass, or just with silence, walking away like a boss is one of the most powerful tools you've got. Try it out. It might just become your new favorite flex. 4. The unbothered laugh. Let me introduce you to one of the most underrated ways to shut down disrespect, the unbothered laugh. It's simple, it's savage, and it's incredibly effective. There's something so powerful about laughing in the face of someone's rudeness, and not because what they said was funny, but because it wasn't even worth taking seriously. It's the ultimate, you don't matter enough to ruffle me move. Disrespectful people often thrive on the idea that they can get under your skin. They want you to flinch, to argue, to take the bait. But when you laugh, you're showing them that their attempt at upsetting you didn't just miss the mark. It was so ridiculous it made you laugh out loud. It's a power move that leaves them baffled and probably questioning their entire existence. Here's a little story. I was at a friend's party and someone made a snarky comment about my outfit. Something like, "Oh, that's bold. I could never pull that off." You know, the classic fake compliment wrapped in shade. Instead of getting defensive or explaining my fashion choices, I just laughed. Loud, genuine, unbothered. I said, "Well, that's probably because it's my look, not yours." The room chuckled, they awkwardly smiled, and I went right back to enjoying myself. That laugh did more than any argument ever could. It told them, you don't have the power to make me insecure, and let's just say they didn't try me again. Now, let's get into the controversy. Some people might say, "But isn't laughing rude? Aren't you just brushing them off without addressing the problem?" And to that I say, exactly. Not every comment deserves a debate or a deep dive into someone's intentions. Sometimes the best response is to show them their disrespect isn't even worth your time. And let's be real, if someone's being outright rude or petty, chances are they're not looking for a productive conversation anyway. They're looking for control, and your laugh takes that power away. Now, not all laughs are created equal. There's an art to making it look effortless, confident, and completely natural. Here are a few techniques to master the unbothered laugh, the soft chuckle. A subtle, amused laugh that says, "Wow, you really thought you did something there." Perfect for low-energy disrespect. The full belly laugh. Loud, unapologetic, and contagious. This one works best when the insult is so ridiculous, it's actually funny. The mock surprise laugh. Raise your eyebrows, laugh, and say, "Oh my God, you're serious. That's adorable." A little risky, but it's a mic drop moment when done right. Here's the thing, laughing at disrespect isn't just about making the other person feel small. It's about showing them that their words or actions hold zero weight in your world. It's a way of saying, "I'm so secure in myself that your negativity literally makes me laugh." And let's take it a step further. Laughter is freeing. It's a reminder to yourself that you don't have to carry someone else's bad energy. You're not responsible for their insecurities or their bad day. Your unbothered laugh is your way of choosing joy over anger, peace over pettiness. Laughing at disrespect shows confidence and self-assurance. It says, "I don't need to argue with you to prove my worth. I already know who I am." It's like an emotional shield that bounces their negativity right back at them. And the best part, it keeps you in control. You're the one dictating the energy of the situation, not them. There was a time in my life when I took every rude comment personally. I'd get defensive, overthink, and let it ruin my day. But then I realized, why give someone that kind of power over me? Now I laugh because life's too short to take every insult to heart. And honestly, the moment you start laughing at the ridiculousness of it all, you start feeling free. It's not about dismissing valid criticism or ignoring serious issues. It's about filtering out the noise. It's about saying, "I respect myself too much to engage with nonsense." And let me tell you, it's a game changer. One time I was on the subway and this guy, clearly having a bad day, started complaining about everyone around him. At one point he looked at me and said, "And you're probably one of those people who thinks they're better than everyone else." I couldn't help it. I just laughed. I mean, what even is that insult? I looked at him and said, "Well, now that you mention it," and laughed again. The whole subway car started giggling and the guy just sat there stunned. That laugh wasn't about being mean. It was about showing him that his negativity didn't stick. And guess what? He stopped talking. It was a win for everyone. Here's the truth. The unbothered laugh is about more than just handling disrespect. It's about reclaiming your peace. When you laugh, you're not letting someone's negativity disrupt your energy. You're choosing to stay light, to stay happy, and to keep moving forward. And let's face it, the world needs more laughter. So if someone's rudeness can turn into a moment of humor for you, that's a win, not for them, but for you. So the next time someone tries to come for you in public, remember this: laugh it off, laugh loudly, laugh unapologetically, because nothing says "I'm unfazed" like a good old-fashioned unbothered laugh. And who knows, you might just inspire someone else to do the same. Now that's how you handle disrespect like a boss. 5. The silent stare. Let's talk about the silent stare. You know that moment when someone disrespects you, and instead of firing back, you just stop and look. No words, no expression, just pure, unfiltered eye contact. This move is bold, it's chilling, and oh, it works so well. It's basically the non-verbal equivalent of saying, "You done yet?" And trust me, it'll make them squirm like you wouldn't believe. The silent stare is psychological warfare. Most people are expecting a reaction, whether it's anger, defensiveness, or even a comeback. But when you hit them with total silence and unblinking eye contact, it throws them completely off their game. Why? Because silence forces reflection. When someone's being rude, they usually do it to provoke a response or assert power. When you stare silently, you're making them sit in their own awkwardness. You're saying, without words, "Whatever you just said is so unimportant. I'm not even dignifying it with a response." It's genius. Now, some people might call the silent stare passive-aggressive. They'll say, if someone disrespects you, you have to respond, right? Wrong. Silence isn't passive. It's strategic. By refusing to engage, you're taking control of the situation. You're saying, "I don't owe you my energy, my words, or my time." Think of it like this. Silence is a mirror. It reflects the other person's behavior right back at them. If they're being ridiculous, your silence makes that crystal clear. And let's be real. Sometimes the best clapback is no clapback at all. Okay, let me set the scene. I was at a restaurant with friends, and the waiter, clearly having a bad day, started snapping at us for no reason. When I politely asked if we could switch a side dish, he said, "Well, maybe you should have thought about that before ordering." Old me, I would have apologized or tried to explain myself. But new me, I just stared at him for a full 5 seconds, silent, calm, no blinking. The guy's face went from smug to confused to downright panicked. He mumbled something about checking with the kitchen and scurried off. My friends were like, "What just happened?" And I was like, that, my friends, was the power of the silent stare. Not all stares are created equal. You've got to nail the vibe, calm, confident, and just a tiny bit unnerving. Here's a quick breakdown of how to master it. Start strong. When someone disrespects you, don't react immediately. Instead, lock eyes with them. Hold their gaze like you're seeing right through their nonsense. Stay neutral. No smiles, no frowns, just a blank expression. Let your eyes do all the talking. Own the silence. Most people can't handle more than a few seconds of silence. Let them fill the awkward gap. They'll probably trip over their words trying to explain themselves. End on your terms. When you've made your point, break eye contact with a subtle head tilt or a quick smirk. It's the equivalent of saying, "That's what I thought." Now, depending on the situation, you can customize your silent stare for maximum effect. The "Are you serious?" stare. Raise one eyebrow slightly while staring. It adds a touch of sass. The "I'm so over this" stare. pair the stare with a slow blink, like you're bored out of your mind. The intimidation level 100 stare. Lean forward slightly and narrow your eyes, as if you're silently daring them to say something else. One time, I used the slow blink stare on a coworker who kept interrupting me in a meeting. After about 5 seconds, he literally stuttered and apologized mid-sentence. No words needed. That stare was my mic drop. Here's where the silent stare gets deep. It's not just about shutting someone down. It's about holding your ground without compromising your peace. Silence is a form of self-control. It says, I don't need to match your energy. I'm secure enough in myself to let you flail around while I stay calm. There's something incredibly empowering about knowing you don't have to respond to disrespect. You're not avoiding the situation. You're choosing to rise above it. And in a world that's constantly demanding we react to everything, staying silent is an act of rebellion. It's like saying, you don't get to dictate my mood or my energy. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. What if the silent stare doesn't work? What if they double down on their disrespect or start laughing it off? Well, here's the beauty of it. You still win. Why? Because the silent stare isn't about changing their behavior. It's about controlling your own. Even if they don't get the hint, you've shown yourself that you're capable of staying composed, and that's a victory all on its own. There was a time when I thought every disrespectful comment needed a witty comeback. I'd stay up at night replaying conversations in my head, wishing I'd said something clever. But then I realized, silence can say more than words ever could. The silent stare taught me that I don't need to prove myself to anyone. It taught me to pause, to breathe, and to let my calmness speak louder than their chaos. And let me tell you, nothing feels better than knowing you can command a situation without saying a single word. So, the next time someone disrespects you, skip the shouting match, skip the witty retort, and just hit them with the silent stare. Let them sit in their awkwardness while you hold your ground with grace. Trust me, it's a move that'll leave them and everyone else speechless. And that's it, folks. Ways to handle public disrespect like a complete and total boss. Whether you're snapping back with wit, walking away in style, or mastering the art of the unbothered laugh, here's the ultimate truth. How you respond says everything about you and nothing about them. Life is full of people who'll test your patience, your self-worth, and even your ability to keep calm under pressure. But guess what? You're stronger than all of that. You don't have to stoop to their level, and you don't have to give them the reaction they're fishing for. You've got 20 different tools in your toolbox now, and each one is designed to let you handle disrespect in a way that protects your energy and keeps your head held high. Let's get real for a second. Handling disrespect isn't just about shutting people down or winning some imaginary argument. It's about setting a standard for yourself. It's about saying, I value my peace, my energy, and my self-worth more than I value proving a point. And trust me, that's a lesson that takes time to learn. I've been there. I've wasted hours replaying disrespectful encounters in my head, thinking of all the things I could have said. But over time, I realized something powerful. Not every situation deserves a reaction. Not every person deserves your time. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Handling disrespect has taught me a lot about myself. It's shown me where my boundaries are, what I'm willing to tolerate, and what I absolutely won't put up with. And, let's be honest, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Some days, you'll feel like clapping back with a clever comeback. Other days, you'll just want to laugh and walk away. Both are valid. The important thing is to remember why you're responding the way you are. Are you standing up for yourself? Are you choosing to protect your peace? Or are you just reacting because you feel like you have to? Once you figure out the why, Everything else falls into place. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your go-to move when someone disrespects you in public? Are you the silent stare type, the witty comeback champ, or do you just laugh it off and keep it moving? Drop your stories in the comments. I want to know how you handle these moments like a pro. And hey, if any of these tips resonated with you or gave you that little spark of confidence, hit that like button. Share this video with someone who could use a reminder that they're in control of their own reactions. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more real talk, life advice, and let's face it, some occasional sass. Here's the takeaway, my friends. You're not responsible for other people's bad vibes, insecurities, or bad days. But you are responsible for protecting your energy and showing up for yourself. And every time you handle disrespect with grace, confidence, or even a little humor, you're reinforcing your own self-worth. So the next time someone tries to dim your light, remember this: you're too bright, too bold, and way too powerful to let their nonsense get to you. Keep shining, keep laughing, and most importantly, keep being unapologetically you. All right, that's all from me for today. Stay strong, stay confident, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, keep those reactions legendary and your energy protected. See you soon.